Hi, Pauline. Thanks for joining us today on the Learner Engagement Facebook page as part of our refreshers and wellbeing focus. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, John. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for asking. Hi, guys that are joining us live. We have Pauline Retty here today. I've made a terrible job in our discussions before this meeting describing what her role is, so I'll just let her tell you who she is and what she does. Over to you, Pauline.
Thank you. So, as John said, my name's Pauline. I work for Angus Council as a communities officer, part of the communities team. And my role is Angus wide. I work with a couple of other people who support young people across Angus to try and help make sure that young people have a voice and a say in issues that affect them. So, the team I work within, we're called Youth Voice and Participation.
Perfect, thank you. And you said to me obviously before you're a communities officer within that team, and you're working on the 5 Ways to Wellbeing project, which we're here to talk to us today about. Could you explain to us what that project is, please?
Yeah, sure. As part of the Angus Youth Work Recovery Partnership work, we had collected information from young people that told us their health and wellbeing had been negatively impacted over the last 2 years. So through the partnership, we agreed that we would work together with some other organisations and young people to start to explore this further using the 5 Ways to Wellbeing national research. And the aim of the work is to identify the potential barriers young people in Angus face around these 5 ways of wellbeing and work towards co-producing tools, activities and projects that can reduce these barriers.
That sounds excellent. It's brilliant. And I love the fact that you've gone out to the community to actually speak to young people, give them a chance to actually design the service. Like I've just completed a service design qualification and big
Yeah,
believer in that. I'm fully bought in. So I love that you're doing user research and shaping your service around the young people it's been built for. So that's brilliant. It's great to hear. Really
definitely.
refreshing.
I always say if I make a decision at work, then I'm not doing my job right. Everything should be decided by young people. We've got much better ideas than we do
Brilliant.
anyway, that's for sure.
Excellent. So you talked about obviously the project name being the 5 Ways to Wellbeing. Can you tell us a bit more about what the 5 Ways to Wellbeing are?
Yeah, there's a lot of national research that's been done on the 5 ways, and that suggests you can take 5 steps to improve your mental health and well-being. So I'll tell you a little bit about each of them. So the first one is connect, and we know that good relationships help you to feel like you belong. It lets you to share experiences and have emotional support. So really important that we have connections there. And that can be everybody from, your really immediate personal relationships to family, to your neighbours, anybody that you see and connect with in your life. And the second one is being active. So we know that being physically active regularly can be linked to lower rates of depression and anxiety across all age groups. But it doesn't have to be going to the gym or going for a run. And we want young people to learn and to know that walking, dancing, doing the gardening, anything like that, any kind of movement, anything that gets your heart rate, it does help to release mood boosting chemicals. And the third one is take notice. And people might hear talk of meditating or being mindful, but we just say that reminding yourself to be present and trying to enjoy the moment, not worry about what's gone before or what's coming next. It can really help build and strengthen awareness and get to know yourself, understand yourself a bit better, and make more positive choices in your life if you do. And learning something new or continuing to learn, we find that it really boosts your self-esteem, whilst it also helps you to be more sociable and active. And that doesn't have to be formal learning like college or school. Even watching a documentary or reading the news or joining a club counts as learning as well. It's all involved.
Absolutely.
And give as well. Helping others in your community can help make you feel happy. It doesn't have to be a regular or formal thing. It could even be a random act of kindness, and even I know myself who during lockdown saying hello and chatting to people in the street when we were not seeing anyone else that we know can just lift your mood and lift your spirits. So a little effort can go a long way as well.
That's fantastic. So many good points in there as well. I mean, particularly one about being active. I mean, it could be if you're doing your washing on a days where you've got the washing piled up, you need it done. If you have to go to the shed and it's up 2 flights of stairs, you do that 4 or 5 times a day. That's being active. I mean, going walking your dogs, being active. It's just about
Absolutely.
getting up and moving, getting the blood flowing, get the circulation going, and stretching those muscles out. It could be anything you want. It could be a job, landscape gardener, maybe bowler, anything at all. I mean, so it's good. It's good that there's a bit of variety there.
As yeah.
So the project itself, in terms of the actual project progression, where is the project at just now?
So we're in the first stage of the project at the minute. So we've been building relationships with partners and with young people and engaging with young people. So very initially in the summer holidays, we worked with a group of young people to help design a programme that we could take out to other young people across Angus. And the programme explores what each of the themes is about. So each of the 5 ways that we've just spoken about, we've spent some time looking at them individually. And we do that through lots of fun activities. You know, we don't sit and tell young people, we get people up and involved. I think my favourite one is probably the take notice, where we use the senses and we got young people smelling different smells and having to guess what it was, and hearing different sounds and feeling different things. And that helped them to think about, well, if you take your time to notice all these things, then you can put together the bigger picture. So maybe a smell on its own doesn't mean an awful lot, but when you put everything together and build a picture, you know, that sort of information is transferable to life. If you take notice of what's going on around you and not just what you can see, it can really help. And that builds on as well to making informed choices. If you gather information from different sources and then you make an informed choice about something, it can be really helpful. So getting young people involved to learn about the 5 ways. And also for us, we've been learning from young people. So finding out what gets in the way for them to be involved in these different ways of wellbeing. And we've been looking at different factors, whether it's the sort of physical factor that you don't live anywhere near what the activity is that's going on. Say you want to go and take part in a group, but there's no public transport, that could be a barrier. Or you might not have the money to get there, or the activity might cost money. You might not have the kit. You might love swimming, but you don't have the kit to go swimming. It could be anything as simple as that. You might want to go cycling, go out and do that on your own, but you don't have a bike. And even the different barriers that might get in the way for some people. Young people have told us they're really nervous about going along to something new. If they don't know anyone or it's in a different area, that itself can stop them. That kind of lack of confidence and feeling anxious about going along. So we've spoken to quite a lot of young people so far in schools and college groups in the community, and also at a fun day that we ran. So we're still building on that. We've got some more groups starting in the next couple of weeks with young people from school and some groups in the community that we know already, we're working with already.
That's excellent. It sounds fantastic. I love that you're getting into every section of the community as well, not just schools, colleges, different parts of the community as well. So you have to get a completely full, varied demographic of voices and opinions before you start shaping something. I love that service focused approach, you know, that user focused approach to make sure it's suitable for the purpose it's being designed for. I love that. It's excellent. So that's really good to hear. What do you think's next for the project? Do you have a plan? Is there a next stage that you want to work on and progress to now you've got this information?
Yeah, once stage 1 is complete, we will have, as you say, a lot of information about what gets in the way for young people for looking after their own health and well-being. And then we're going to look to work with young people to explore the barriers further and hopefully start to look at some potential solutions, what some of them might be, and start designing and working up these ideas, which we'll then test out. Because this is only at the first stage. Once we've got the information, we want to have a bit of a hypothesis. What do we think the problems are? And finding out what's most important to young people, or what is the biggest barrier, and starting from there. But we've got a real chance to make change and to get some of these barriers out the way. So we're looking forward to it.
Sounds great. I mean, when I was doing my project for self-design, what I found was that going through that first stage is so important because it helps you move from the next stage to the next stage in a much more suitable fashion. It's much more directed instead of kind of just guessing and then having to change it as you go on. So it's beneficial and it gives you a real kind of sense of direction. So it's great. I was going to ask at the end there, how can young people get involved? I suppose it's the wrong question. It sounds like they've been involved already, but how can other young people get involved moving forward in this project?
I'm going to have a stand at the college in Arbroath for the next 4 Thursdays, so we can learn a bit more from students, because as I say, we've had some information so far, mainly from your team and, you know, Jason going in and delivering different pieces of work. So this is going to be, think of it like a roadshow. So we're going to be there in the learner engagement area with information and maybe some interactive things to get involved in. And young people coming along, students coming along can have a chat, get some Young Scot reward points for getting involved, and enter some prize draws to win things like a day pass for the gym or a swim or something. So giving a little back, and we're hoping that the students will be able to tell us about the barriers that are there for them as well. But there's also the chance to be involved and lead on the analysis and design stage that I spoke about. And if anybody wants to know any more, we've got an Angus-wide Facebook page, and we can get in touch with us by messaging direct and just letting us know you want to hear more, want to hear what's going on, or speaking to any of you guys as well could get us in touch with.
And we'll be sharing obviously details of it on our page as well, so we'll be making sure obviously it's all accessible. So just visit the learner engagement page, guys, and the student wellbeing page for the wellbeing part of our group as well, and you can access these guys there. So that's great, and I love the fact that you're not just involving people at the start; it's a continual involvement, a continual partnership with young people shaping the service. It really is the way to go. So I'm actually really excited about this now. I'm going to look forward to the next days at Arbroath campus, seeing how the guys engage with it. I might get involved myself as well.
Brilliant.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about, or anything else you want to get across about the project, or?
I think just that they will want to hear from as many people as possible. So even if you've got an opinion, even if you don't want to get involved or come and speak to me, as I say, we've got the Facebook page there. We can put the link up in the comments, and if anybody wants to drop us a message and let us know your thoughts, we're more than happy. We'd love to hear from you.
Brilliant. I can only encourage you guys. I mean, for anyone watching live now, watching this afterwards when it's on the page, please make sure you're getting involved in shaping the way wellbeing's being provided for in terms of provision in the future, because at the end of the day, you guys are going to be the service users of this, and in generations to come, might be scared to think your kids will then be the service user for this. It's about a really strong focus on improving your mental health and having provision there to do so. This is it sounds like the grassroots, something really positive happening from the council. So it's great to see, and I'm looking forward to supporting that as well. So thank you very much, Polly, for coming to speak to us today.
Absolutely.
And hopefully the students found it useful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.